Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into something pretty mind-blowing today.
Mind-blowing is right. We're talking AGI and the singularity.
Yeah, two topics that are, well, they kind of go hand in hand, but they also spark a lot of debate.
Absolutely, and for good reason. I mean, we're talking about the future of intelligence itself, right?
Right, and it feels like we're getting closer and closer to what used to be pure science fiction. I mean, look at what companies like OpenAI are doing.
Yeah, the progress has been incredible, but it's important to define our terms here. When we say AGI, what are we really talking about?
That's a good point. It's easy to throw these terms around without really understanding what they mean. So for anyone who's not totally up to speed, what exactly is AGI?
Well, it stands for Artificial General Intelligence, and it's a big step beyond the kind of AI we have today.
Right, because today we have AI that can beat you at chess or translate languages, but
But those are specialized AIs. They're really good at one specific task. AGI is about creating machines that can learn, reason, and perform tasks across any domain.
so basically like a human brain.
In a way, yeah. The goal is to build a machine that can think and adapt just like we can, not just in one narrow area, but across the board.
Okay, so that's AGI.
Yeah.
And that ties into the singularity, right?
Exactly. The singularity is this hypothetical point in the future where AI surpasses human intelligence.
And then what? Like the robots take over.
Well, not necessarily. The idea is that once AI becomes smarter than us, it could start designing even smarter AI, leading to this exponential growth in intelligence.
A kind of runaway train of intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where things get really interesting and maybe a little scary.
Yeah, it's definitely both exciting and kind of unsettling to think about. So are we on the verge of this singularity? Like how far off are we from AGI?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And there's no easy answer. Some experts believe we're just a decade or two away from AGI. Others say it's centuries away, if it's even possible at all.
Wow, that's a pretty wide range of opinions.
It is, and it just shows how complex this problem really is. I mean, we're talking about replicating the human mind, which is the most complex system we know of.
So it's not just about throwing more computing power at the problem.
Right. It's not just about bigger, faster computers. We also need to understand how the human brain works at a much deeper level.
And I imagine there's some things that are just really hard to program into a machine.
Ah.
Like, what about things like common sense reasoning or emotions? Can you teach a computer to understand those things?
That's one of the biggest challenges, yeah. We humans do those things intuitively, but it's incredibly difficult to translate that into code.
Right. And then there's the question of consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, can we even create a machine that truly understands what it's doing?
That's a huge philosophical question, and we could spend hours debating it, but it definitely has big implications for AGI.
Okay, so let's bring this back down to earth for a minute. Why should we care about all this now? I mean, this all sounds pretty futuristic.
Well, it matters because the potential impact of AGI and the singularity is enormous. Think about the problems we face as a species. Disease, poverty, climate change.
Big problems, yeah.
Huge problems. And AGI could give us the tools to tackle these challenges in ways we can barely imagine.
So it's like this incredible potential for good. But I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the potential downsides, too. I mean, we've all seen those sci-fi movies where AI goes rogue, takes over the world.
Of course, and those concerns aren't totally unfounded. You got to be really careful about how we develop AGI. If we're not careful, we could end up with unintended consequences.
Like what? Give me some specific examples. What are some of the risks?
Well, for one, AGI could lead to massive job displacement. If machines can do most jobs better than humans, what happens to the workforce?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
And then there's the issue of privacy. Imagine AI systems that can track our every move, analyze our data, even predict our behavior. That's a pretty scary thought.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And what about the potential for AGI to be used for harmful purposes, like in warfare, for example?
Absolutely. That's a huge concern. We need to think very carefully about how to prevent AGI from being used for malicious ends.
So it's not just about building the technology, it's about making sure we use it responsibly.
Exactly. And that's why the conversation around ethics and responsible AI development is so important.
Okay, so what does that look like? How do we prepare for a future with AGI?
Well, it's not just about the technology itself, right? It's about the social, economic, and political implications. We need to have open discussions about the values we want to embed in these systems, the rules we want to put in place.
So create frameworks that ensure AI is used for good, not for harm.
Exactly. And that's a conversation that needs to involve everyone, not just scientists and engineers.
So for you listening, what are your thoughts? Is AGI something we should be excited about or scared of? Or maybe a little bit of both?
And are we ready for the singularity? What kind of future do you want to see with AI?
Those are big questions, and I don't think there are any easy answers, but they're definitely worth thinking about.
Definitely. The future of AGI is something we all have a role in shaping.
So let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AGI and the singularity. It's a topic that's sure to keep us all thinking for a long time to come.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And to everyone listening, until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep wondering about the incredible possibilities of the future.